Being a woman is hard, whether you're young, you're old, or somewhere in between. Just being is really difficult, and then you add in hormones, family, friends, work, and it's just a mess. And today I have with me Erin Poredos, who is the founder and what would I say, a self-discovery coach of the Joy Tribe. Erin, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I am too. Now, what made you decide to be a coach for women? A self-discovery
Oh my
coach?
gosh. Well, if you were to ask me years ago if I would be a self-discovery coach or a coach in general, I probably would have laughed in your face. But the reason why I became a coach is a little, there are many women who have gone through this kind of story, but I had lived my life for other people for a really long time. I lived with a lot of anxiety. I had OCD, so I was just constantly making sure everyone was okay, choosing things to keep myself small, keep myself quiet. I had lived in a family where school was very important, good grades, and I was the art kid. So I was kind of doing these, I didn't have any huge art shows to showcase my work or anything. So yeah, I kind of learned to just stay quiet, stayed shy, and didn't really speak up or choose things that were right for me. So I ended up going through university. I ended up going to the University of Windsor for the visual arts program and the communications program. And I did all that. I moved to Toronto and I got a job, did all the things. And I ended up getting into a relationship with a guy who was, everything you'd want on paper. He was good looking. He was financially sound. And he was someone that, that looked good on paper and looked good as a couple. And I was like, okay, I've made it. We're we have an okay relationship. But when I say okay, it started off okay. And then again, it was just a relationship that I felt where I had to stay small, and he basically ignored me for most of it. And we were together for 7 years and ended up getting married, which is crazy to think about now, but I digress. This is why I'm sitting here right now. But I got to the dress fitting day and I was looking in the mirror at myself and I was like, something feels really off. Something feels off. And that was when I started questioning my choices. But I had been so accustomed to, oh, it's nothing. These are just nerves. Or, this is what you should want. This is the life that looks like what you're supposed to have. And we went through the wedding. And as I was walking down the aisle, I was looking for exits because I thought I was going to be sick.
You should have done a Julia Roberts.
Honestly, that is what my mom compares me to. She's like, you're the runaway bride almost.
Oh, no, you stayed.
I did stay. So I basically was looking for exits the entire time. I got up there, I said yes, we danced, we drank, and that was that. And then 4 months later, he said he was no longer in love with me. And then we ended our relationship. And I think from that point on, I won't get into the nitty gritty of it all, but honestly, it's not the divorce for me. Obviously, that was a crappy thing that happened.
Yeah.
And but it was something that completely woke myself up.
Where most people, it would put their ass in bed, under the sheets, in a depression.
Oh, there was some of that. There was some of that.
But then you found your voice again.
Yes. So anyways, we ended up moving out of our house and I moved downtown. And this is where the whole heroin factor came into my world, where I have always been like I mentioned, an art kid, but I've always been very into fantasy and video games, and I was a huge fan of Tomb Raider. And so the Halloween that I was downtown, my friend asked me if I wanted to go to this huge Halloween party. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I decided randomly that I was going to dress up like Tomb Raider. And so I got the combat boots, I had the guns, I had all the things, and I looked at myself in the mirror before we left. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even recognize her, but something about her feels familiar. And that was the moment that I realized, well, why can't I feel like this all the time? And then that just kind of opened up the entire world where the Joy Tribe started, and needing to find out who I was and to help people do that themselves.
Isn't it weird how something so small as a costume for a Halloween party can just flip a switch?
It was crazy, because I think back to that moment, like you said, it was so small, but it completely changed my world, and it allowed me to really develop myself, my courage, my bravery. I brought this confidence into my work. But yeah, it allowed me to heal faster.
It's hard. It's a pride thing too, especially after only 4 months. And
It's faster than Kim Kardashian.
it is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I mean, you had your doubts, but you still went through with it. You weren't expecting him to have the same doubts. And that's tough. And for you to pick yourself up, kudos.
Well, thank you. And I mean, I think this is also just a story that a lot of women go through. And it's not even like divorce. You could be going through another life transition, or you are just completely overwhelmed with life in general. Life right now is hard. So
Yes.
I know that a lot of people are working for success and what it looks like on social media or what their friends are doing. It's like keeping up with the Joneses. And I mean, I still deal with that as well, but I think it's a matter of finding your own inner power and your own strengths and your own foundation to, come back to.
How did you end up going from Laura Croft to self-discovery coach?
I did spend a couple of years doing my own self-discovery process, going through the motions for myself in terms of, what do I want to do? I was working in events in Toronto, and doing a lot of, I've done conferences and different public events, and I just didn't feel called to them. And honestly, with every job that I had, I felt like there was something in me, Erin, there's something more. I feel like we all have that little voice, and maybe we quiet it down, and that's what this whole work is. But there was a voice telling me that there was something more. So I decided to quit my job in Toronto right before COVID and start mental health events. So it was bringing people together to talk about the mental health issues that they're going through. It wasn't paid speakers or anything. It was really just people that were coming forward and wanting to speak. And it was incredible. But COVID, as I mentioned, kind of kiboshed all of that. And I was like, okay, I just quit my job. I don't really know what to do. So during this time, I was learning how to build my business, taking on skills like that. And then I decided to move home to Chatham, which I was a little bit like, oh no, I'm going home to Chatham. I'm single and I'm in my 30s and I don't want to do it. But anyways, I came home and I decided that, I want to continue to help people. I want to continue to give people hope in some way or help them find themselves. So that's kind of when I did a little bit of research and I found a health and life coach. And I know that some people have a little bit of a stigma around that, but honestly, I truly believe that everyone needs a coach in some way.
Life is hard. Adulting is hard, as the kids say.
Adulting is hard.
Or as I like to say, womaning is even worse.
100%. With being a woman, you have so many different roles on top of your, or hats that you're wearing. And you're the mom, you're the sister, you're the mother, you're the, the cash register or the cashier or the whatever you are for your job. And you have all of these other things. And then on top of that, you have your own, struggles of like who I am. What do I do now? What is the next step for me? Is this really what I want? So as women, we really get lost in that. And I think that a lot of women just, and I don't want to say, not that they're settling, but that they are kind of living with this feeling of lack and this unfulfillment that I feel like if they just took a little bit of time to cultivate something, and you don't even need a lot of time to do this, where you're taking 15 minutes maybe in the morning to, read a book, or you are listening to a podcast, or you go for a walk. And it doesn't even need to be a long walk, like just a walk around the block. Yeah. Taking little moments for yourself is a way to connect back to who you are and what you want.
Well, I find for being a woman in this day and age, it's so confusing because we're either settling, and I hate to say that, but we do settle. We go for the comfort because the world is so crazy to begin with. So, and with COVID, we've learned that can all be taken away. So you take the job that you can get that'll give you the most money. You stay in the relationship. You do the best that you can with the idea that it may stop at any moment, instead of doing what you love and your passion and making yourself happy.
And I love that you said that, because you can, I feel, have both. I feel like you can have the job and you can still do that, but you can also take a little slice of time for yourself.
Oh, for sure.
So you can do it. And I think also you might, take walks or read books, which is kind of what happened to me, and was like, okay, I'm learning these new things about myself, and oh my gosh, I do love painting, or I do, love books, and maybe I want to write a book, or maybe I want to start singing, and all these things kind of build out your next adventure.
Being a self-discovery coach, is that do you deal with just women or women and men?
Currently, I deal with just women, although I feel like everyone needs this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I work with really women who resonate in terms of going through a transition, or going through divorce or heartbreak. And yeah, and as we mentioned before about Tomb Raider, and I truly believe that like life is like a video game where we go through different levels and we pick up all these trinkets and these strengths and these different things. And then we also have to face our inner demons and our inner dragons. Yeah. And then we go through that, and everything that we learned and fought against with our inner dragons, we use that in the next level. So everything that we go through is a stepping stone and a lesson for the next level.
That is a great analogy.
Yeah, and so to go back to my love of fantasy, this is how I build my coaching, and I take my the women that I work with through the journey, the heroine's journey. So you go through the call, and you meet your mentors, and you face your inner dragons, and going through all of that with whatever situation that they're in, because like I said, life is like a video game, and I think making the healing process a little bit more digestible, because I think when people think of healing, healing is different for everyone, and it is not necessarily the most fun. But if you kind of flip it on its head and be like, okay, maybe, this is my little dragon of the day that I need to face or listen to or, take in, then that's going to help me get to the next thing. So, I think that making life a little bit more fun through going through healing and looking at things differently is really, really helpful.
Now, do you do your workshops? Are they one-on-one or a group?
So I do one-on-one coaching, and then I also do group workshops. So I have workshops kind of built around the idea of the heroine's journey. I have a workshop on finding your anchor and finding your strengths. And I have one coming up. We're just figuring out the date, but basically using like a piece of jewelry to hone in and focus on your why.
Is that with Meg?
It is with Meg. We're trying to put together the date with another event, so I don't want to say too much, but
it's in the works.
It's in the works. There's lots in the works. So yeah, and I also have, if anyone would be interested in sort of a fantasy journey, I have a 3-day cinematic meditation journey that I have created. So basically it is a self-guided fantasy adventure for your soul, basically.
Now, is that in person or online?
This is online. So basically it's just you download an audio, and there's also a workbook. So there's 3 parts to it where you have journal prompts and questions that will help you along that journey. And it allows you to connect to your inner heroine and remind you of your inner power. I don't want to give too much because...
When is that?
Pardon?
When is that? Can they do it anytime?
You can do it anytime.
Oh, I'm signing up for that.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, I'm really, really proud of it because I don't think I've ever seen this done before. And I mean, I love meditation, but it is sometimes really hard to trying to focus your thoughts and trying to clear your mind doesn't work for a lot of people.
I'm always thinking a million thoughts because, like you, I have OCD or I fall asleep and then forget journaling. So this would force me to get into that because I always have those good intentions, buy the agenda for the year or buy a journal, and then that works for like a week. And then
I
that's
agree.
it.
I have to say, I will say this right now. I'm giving you journal prompts, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's very hard to stay committed, but this is the work, right? So, and you can use the journal prompts, and maybe it's not necessarily journaling. Maybe you're drawing or you're going on a walk and just reflecting on what you've went through. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you read Choose Your Own Adventure novels when you were younger, but this is the feeling that I want people to get as they move through these meditations. And I'm building on a 7-day one. I have that in the works. And then, I don't know.
You have a lot going on.
I know. I love it.
And you've only been back in Windsor for, what, a year?
I moved to Windsor last summer.
Wow.
And so I was in Chatham doing a lot of work there too for 4 years. But Windsor for the last year. And honestly, so cool to come back after all these years. So,
but it's nice because you don't have to be in Windsor in order to enjoy your work.
No, I can go anywhere, be anywhere, wherever. So it's great.
I love that. Now, there is something that you do have to be in Windsor for, and that is your event coming up that is dating.
Yes. So I'm
not going to be there. I'm married.
And I am actually in a relationship, so I will not take
Participate.
I will not be participating, but the reason why I created this event, one, because I'm a hopeless romantic, and I love love, and I want other people to experience it. But I think for me, it's beyond that. Because COVID and the world at large has really become disconnected with each other. And human connection, I feel like it's such a struggle for so many people. And for when I was dating and when I was going through that after my divorce, it was difficult because, we have the apps, and the apps are, I feel like, the game of hot or not, where you're judging people by pictures. And it is terrible. You go through these, you have prompts, or like you have like surface level conversations, and trying to get people on an actual date is very difficult.
Or to get them to be honest.
And that's the thing, is like, actually, my boyfriend right now, he's on his profile, he said that he was 5'11", and he is not 5'11". I'm still dating him, but like, that's the thing, is like, people are not necessarily like truthful in what they say. And I think that people now are just so jaded by it, and so there's just a lot of negativity around it. And I want to bring that spark back to dating, the excitement back. And this event, you're going to it, but it's not like I'm here making you match with someone, or you're going to find your soulmate.
It's not the power dating thing.
No, it is not speed dating. So yes, no speed dating. I really am wanting just have people make connection. So I have curated some questions. So each table is going to have some questions, but it's not like you're going to be like forced to sit down with people and forced to talk. It's going to be a very free-flowing experience. And I want people, and I will be doing some games. Not the cringe-worthy games, but like just games to get people involved. I really want people just to laugh and have fun, because life is too serious. This event is for 35 to 50, but when I was dating in my late 30s, like there was no single people. There was no single people in my friend group. So I had a hard time, connecting with other people, and that's the, information and feedback I'm getting from other people, is that, well, I don't have any people in my friend group that are single that can go, out with me and like go to different bars, or the friend groups are just, there's a lack of that.
Well, and that's even hard too. Okay, dating online, forget it. I mean, you can, but chances of a match are slim. Going to a bar and meeting somebody, like, that's kind of cringy as well. So
you have to be really outgoing, and like, it's like loud, and there's lots of things going on. But yeah, so it's more so just to create a very, very intentional space. And I think that people are starving for that right now.
Oh, I agree. Now, when is that going to be?
So it's October 7th. Okay. I believe that's a Tuesday, from 7 until 9 p.m. at Winology, the one on Walkerville.
Oh,
with
okay.
The beautiful patio.
Oh, it is nice there.
Yeah.
Now, how would they be able to get tickets or enroll?
Yeah, so they can follow me on Date on Purpose. It's on Eventbrite, so you just search Date on Purpose, Winology Walkerville, and it is all there. Happy to take any questions. I know people have been asking that are outside of that age range, so that's a good sign. I hopefully will be doing other events after this for other age groups, but yeah.
Yeah, us seniors need them too.
Honestly, everyone needs them. So it's
true.
like, I think people just need to remember how to connect again. And
I think it would be fun to have one of those where it's just to make friends.
that's kind of where I want to go with this. It's like, it's not said, but like if you're going to an event with all single people, and that's the thing, like that's why this is not necessarily about finding your soulmate, but you're going to find people that are like-minded. So you might go and you might not find a date, but you might speak to a girl or a guy and be like, oh, that person was really cool. Like, I can go and you become friends and you go do adventures together and like have experiences. And that's how you meet your partner. So
That's cool.
it's really just about networking and connecting and creating relationships and experiences for people. Really, this is just, I am just facilitating it, but the rest is up to everyone else who attends. So
Now, how much are the tickets?
the tickets are $40
Oh,
and you
that's
get a
not-
free drink. So it is, it'll be really, really great.
That'll be fun. And everybody can follow you on Instagram. And are you on Facebook or is it just Instagram?
I hate Facebook, everyone.
Same.
So I really base my, even I'm terrible at TikTok, but really my home base is Instagram. So
Okay.
I have the Joy Tribe Co. and I have Date on Purpose. So you can follow me on either and get updates. So.
And also, I was watching some of your YouTube videos on various topics.
Yes. Yeah.
Which were really good.
Thank you. That is my little baby that I've been trying to nurture and trying not to like get caught up in all the algorithm and just speak my truth. But it's YouTube is great, and I love being able to get on camera and share my knowledge and share experiences and help people, make them laugh and just be myself. So
Now, the last one you just did, and I mean, it was a couple weeks ago, but this is the type of self-discovery coach that Erin is. There was a podcast, or it was an episode of just 2 little words.
I'm fine.
And what that means when you say that.
A whole lot.
is-
A whole lot, actually. It is the worst thing that you can say. It is so dangerous because I'm fine could be, oh my gosh, I hate you so much. I have so much else going on right now, but I'm fine. Like, it's such a blanket thing to say. Yeah, I think that when you say I'm fine, it's like blocking connection. It's blocking connection not only with yourself, but it's blocking connection with your partner or whoever you're saying that to. Because you're denying your emotions. You're denying your truth. So when you say I'm fine, also you're denying that from your partner if you're saying that to your partner. Because they're going to sit in the dark and be like, okay, well, I know something's wrong, and it's just going to fester.
And it shuts communication down. It shuts and that's what I like you saying, it shuts yourself down. And you're not being true to yourself in voicing whatever it is.
If you want to call it gaslighting yourself, there we go. It's gaslighting yourself.
It's true.
So, and that's the thing too, is when I was in my relationship for 7 years, I constantly said I was fine. I was always, oh yeah, this is fine. I don't know, I can't remember if I said it in this video, but there was a point when I was training for a marathon and I got hit by a car.
Story.
And I was fine. See, I'm fine. I got
But
hit
you
by-
were.
But I was. Like, I didn't have any broken bones. And I ended up calling my boyfriend. And my boyfriend at the time, and he basically said, oh, just get a cab. I'll be home soon. And so I got, the cab came. I was like, oh, yeah, this is fine. I got in the cab and then got home, and he didn't come home for 2 hours. And I still stayed. I still said I'm fine. And I feel like people do this all the time because we don't want to inconvenience someone. We don't want to disappoint anyone. We want to like make sure that life is just airy and fairy and like.
Well, and we're women. We're supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
You know?
There's nothing wrong with us.
We're cool.
We're perfectly fine.
We have these big shoulders here.
Yeah.
We can hold the weight of the world.
Yeah. So I think as women, we need to, if you find yourself wanting to say I'm fine, maybe just take a step back and ask yourself why. Why is this fine? And really kind of explore what that means for you, and then, you know, be able to share that.
I know, because I was thinking about it when I watched your video, and I'm thinking, okay, even in really good relationships, friendships with family, you're saying I'm fine just to stop a discussion, stop an argument, stop doing or talking about something that's uncomfortable. And you are turning what could be a little thing into something huge by saying that and stopping it, because then it's going to fester and it's going to make whatever it is.
You're going to resent whoever. You're also going to resent yourself and wishing you said something, and it's just becomes a big mess. So you just need to share your feelings and tell people how you feel, and that's why it's so important to build that relationship with yourself. And I mean, I sit here today and I still struggle with that.
Everybody does.
Yeah. And but I think what I've learned from my own self-discovery process is taking that time to, you know, for me, it's going on walks that I can reconnect to myself and be able to, okay, how did I feel during that? What does that actually mean for me? And then coming back to a situation, or whether that's your job or your relationship or a conversation with a family member, just so you can be sure of your truth and yourself so that you can show up better for people in your life and yourself.
That's something that we are all trained, regardless of how old you are, from the time you were little, is to be yourself, but also you don't want to rock the boat, and you don't want to be the drama queen. You want to be the self-sufficient one, and I'm fine and I'm okay. I got this. And sometimes we need that help, whether it's from our partner or a
That's right.
discovery coach.
That is true. And I think just using curiosity, and the other thing I will mention, because your imagination. Because as children, we are told from a young age that, you know, you need to, you know, do good in school, you need to get good grades, you need to go to university, or, you know, get a great job, get a great partner, or get married, do all the things. Like, we get so caught up in adulting, we get so caught up in being our best and being successful that we actually forget that imagination and curiosity and joy in our life. Like, we forget that. And then that's the piece, I think, that makes life worth living. Because if you're constantly working your butt off, helping your kids, doing all the things, how do you live your life? And so for me, my coaching is not only discovering yourself, but it's also discovering that joy and that spark that you have, which is why I also focus a lot of my coaching on fantasy and, you know, the Tomb Raider aspect and the heroine's journey. Because I think that we forget that our imagination helps us build the life that we aspire to. And asking, you know, the question, what if? Like, what if I started those art classes? Or what if I, you know, went for a walk every morning? Like, what would happen? What if I went to a dating event, which you should?
Definitely.
You know, like, you just don't know, like, the good things that can happen. And, like, to be able to create and use your hands. It actually helps with anxiety. Like there's so many pluses with healing and imagination and curiosity and just all around joy, because what the heck is it all worth?
And us as women, I don't know why, but if we're not taking care of whatever family you have, whether it's animals, whether it's children, whether it is your parents, grandparents, husband, spouse of whatever kind, your work, your house, if you do anything for yourself, we always feel guilty.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And that's why I definitely think that doing your programs and listening to your YouTubes, and it's giving yourself permission to be happy and be healthy and not always be on point for everybody else.
Because if everyone, it's like watching people, like you're at the side of the playground and like watching all the other kids play and you don't get to. Why do we feel guilty if we do something and it's like, okay, I'm not going to vacuum today, or we're going to get McDonald's because I want to watch this show or I want to read a book? Why do I feel guilty for that? The only person that is providing, like the only person that is giving guilt is ourselves.
Exactly. And we need to stop that cycle and learn that we are people and we deserve the happiness and the joy and the love that everybody else has.
That's right.
And date as well, if you're single.
Yeah. Honestly, and here, I'm saying that you should come to my dating event, but if dating is not your thing, that's okay. Like, I think the basis of everything that I do is building a relationship with yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you want. If that's a partner, knowing what you want in a partner and how that life looks and living from that. Because if you want a partner, all of that's going to fall into place.
Oh, for sure.
So, and if you want to be single and you want to travel the world, all of that's going to fall into place. If you know who you are and your why and how you want to live your life. That's it.
Perfect. And thank you so much, Erin. This is definitely going to be a world of good for me, for anybody else that wants to join in on any of your workshops. Well, thank you so much again, Erin. I really do appreciate you being here. Make sure to follow Erin on Instagram at
Date on Purpose.
Date on Purpose and the Joy Tribe Co. And you can also find some of her videos on YouTube at Joy Tribe Co. as well. And get out there and date or do a workshop. Get to know Erin and get to know yourself, because we all deserve a little joy in our lives.
I love it. Thank you. Yes.
Again, my name is Tracy Martins, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of YQG in Bloom. You all have a wonderful day.